2015 Volkswagen Jetta. The problem is, no beepity beepity beep. They want to beepity beep. And also apparently some issue with the sunroof too, but that one I'm not too worried about. We don't usually do too much with sunroofs, but if it happens to fix it, then great. So, let's look up some wiring diagrams. And usually the first thing I do, I want to try and do basically a how do I start a diagnosis. It's going to vary from person to person and mechanic to mechanic how they particularly do it, but we're going to stop this obnoxious noise because everybody hates the dinging. I can do that too. Anyway, so for this, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to actually just scan the whole car real quick to see if it throws any horn codes, anything like that, because that might give me a kind of a direction to go. But for now, we're just going to scan it, and then I'm going to look up a wiring diagram as to how this horn operates, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I know this is lame, but whatever. Control circuit for horn. Open circuit, inoperative. Or open circuit intermittent, sorry. Terminal 30 left, terminal 30 right. So, actually, I'm just going to clear them and see if it lets it work. Wouldn't be the first time that that's happened. Yeah, it didn't come back. Nope. Now it'll probably set the code again, hopefully. So let's see. Go back. Yep. Control module for sliding roof. Ooh, that's a code too. No signal or communication, and the control circuit for horn. Open circuit. So let's pull up the wiring diagram now. So on our wiring diagram here, we have fuse 27, 35, 43, and 36. There's a 1 amp at fuse 27. To be fair, I'll let you know, I went ahead and checked them all, and they're all okay. So we can skip that. But what I will show you is where the fuse box is. This is bottom end of the car. Just pull this panel down, and you got all these fuses. They are labeled. They're really tiny and hard to see. So it says like 37, 36, 35, 34. Etc. And it's got little labels right next to the fuse, so you can use that as a guide if you don't have a particular thing. So like for instance, this is the first one, fuse 27, and it's 1 amp. It's good, and so on and so forth. Like 35, 36, everything's good. I got the key on right now, and what I used for a ground for my little test light is I just used the door. It's got to be something that's not painted. So if this is all covered in paint, then you got to find somewhere else. And like this won't work because it's painted. That won't work because it's painted. None of this will work because it's painted. So it can be kind of frustrating to find a ground sometimes. So as far as, and also I can hear it clicking. I don't know if you can too. So here, listen. Pushing the horn, let off, in, off, in, off, in, off. Also kind of hitting it. So I hear a relay clicking. So instead of trying to dig out that relay because it's somewhere back there, it might even be in a module because it supposedly is also possibly in a module. Anyway, since I hear it clicking, I'm just going to go right to the horn. Let's do that. All right, the horn is back here. We're going to take this pipe off, just 7mm hose clamp, and then this you just literally unclip. You can use a screwdriver. You might be able to pull it with your fingers, either or. You just got to get it dislodged. So let me get this pipe out of the way. So we got the horn exposed. Now we can just take this 13mm off and we can get the whole unit out and we can test it on the bench. So let me take this bolt out. I'm going to disconnect that connector. It's just I can't really get the camera in here and get my hands in here at the same time. So I'm going to get this out of here. If I was doing this without doing it on camera, I would just unplug it and check for signal. But since it's going to be easier for us to do it on the bench, we'll show you there. All right, so I got a little test set up. Here's our horn, just 2-pin connector. I happen to have an adapter that I can use to test it with. This is just off of an old harness that I went to a junkyard, so I just cut off a bunch of connectors right there. So now we can easily probe or power this horn and see if it makes a noise. So let's try. Got the ground hooked up here, and we got our power. Turned off the obnoxious noise. We have continuity. Apply power. Nothing. Horn's broke. Doesn't work. Try it backwards, just in case. Like, it shouldn't matter. It's a speaker type thing. It just reverberates. Yep, nothing. Putting 12 volts to it. So, yes, it needs a horn. But the last test we'll do, this is what I'll show you because you might not have this set up. I'll show you how to test the line coming from the car. All right, now we're down at the wire. So let's, my ground fell off. I'm laying on my back. Because Jake's up in the car. I'm trying to do it somewhere lower. Let's find, that looks like groundish type thing. This is hard doing one-handed. Let me put the camera like this. Alright. Alright, Jake, hit it. Let off, hit it. Push down. Okay, we got signal. Cool, thank you. So, we know it's getting signal. You can get out and turn off the car. So, we know it's getting power down to it. The only thing I didn't check was the ground, but the horn doesn't work either, so I don't think the ground's a problem. We can check it anyway, but it shouldn't be a problem. All right, gonna wrap up this car. We're just waiting on the horn. It'll get here. I know it'll work. Anyway, we fixed the DRL bulb, which you can get that by taking this out. And I did fix the sunroof. The sunroof was inoperable. And what it turned out to be was somebody took the fuse out. There's fuse 20, which you cannot see because it's too dark. But anyway, fuse, it was a 20 amp fuse. I forgot which position. It's the sunroof control. And so I did that and it started to work. It would only go back and forth a little bit and it kind of got stuck a little. And it got very frustrating, so I looked up the procedure on how to reset it. To redo the adaptation for this, you just hold this button down like that for a long time. The sunroof does have to be closed, so if you can't get the sunroof closed, I guess you have to finagle it until it does. Mine, the one here, it would, oops, wrong one. It would not, it wouldn't go past like, I would close it like this and it would stop about here and come back. And so I had to basically sit here and stop the noise. All right, so I had to sit here and basically play with this button until it got it to inch forward enough to where it would shut. I think it was putting too high amperage for the motor because it sounds kind of slow, but it works now. Everything's fine. Fantastic. We'll get the horn, install it. Be good. See y'all in the next one, even with creepy people staring at us.